My name is Hassan Said Hassan. I'm Managing Director of Master Media. It's a great pleasure to have this distinguished lineup of experts on the panel. We have 8 experts well known in the region and internationally. We have only 45 minutes for a lot of topics to cover. Vijaya made the introduction to the panelists, so I'll go straight to the point. We have some broadcasters, we have manufacturers, we have service providers and system integrators. We'll try to cover the different topics about the broadcast and IT from different aspects. I'll start with the broadcasters on the panel. Dominic from Sky News Arabia, Andy from NBC, Afdal from DMI, and Frank from OSN. I'd like to ask you about what's the topmost challenge you have now. We talk about multiple delivery platforms, tapeless workflows. If you choose one challenge you have now in your operations, what would that be? Let's start with Dominic.
Was that on the agenda?
No.
Biggest challenge we have now?
I think your mic.
It is now. It's on, right? No? Yes, I can hear it. Biggest challenge we have is vendors appreciating that technology has moved forward from video to IP and content agnostic, format agnostic systems and delivery. We're trying to build systems from technology that is old, outdated, and the new technology just isn't available.
You recently launched in May, I think earlier this year, and maybe it's a privilege for you to start from scratch. You didn't have the legacy of being a traditional broadcaster, then having to launch multi-platform. How did you choose your systems to be able to deliver, to acquire content from different sources, user-generated content from online, from mobile, whatever, and traditional links, and delivery? What were the key things? What the differentiator in the system you built from a technology point of view?
I didn't. It was done by Bevan and the launch team from Sky News. But at the foremost front of their mind was building a system that was an evolution on what they had in Osterley and solving all of the problems they found and also testing some new technology.
Okay, good. Andy, you're a traditional broadcaster, started NBC in '93, I think. And you were broadcasting over satellite, one channel, and it goes maybe 10 or more channels now. I think it's a challenge for you. There is always resistance internally and externally to adopt new technologies, to go to tapeless. I think we have a tapeless project going on. What's your biggest challenge now?
Yes, we are. We're in the middle of a transition from tape-based workflows to file-based workflows.
Sorry, can you speak up loud, please, so we can hear you?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, we're in the middle of a transition from tape-based working to file-based working, and we're installing a digital asset management system, which should be rolled out by Q1, Q2 next year. I think the biggest challenge on that front is the changing of the workflows, is disengaging people from the idea they have to carry a tape around all the time, trusting their valuable content to a nasty computer which might lose it or destroy it or whatever. I think it's a sort of a mindset change as much as a technological change.
Yeah, exactly. After all, I think DMI was one of the first broadcasters in the region to deliver on tablets and mobile, although it's maybe not well known.
Right.
You're now heading the projects department at the technology at DMI. What are you working on these days? You had projects for tapeless operations, digitization, and
right.
What's your biggest challenge these days?
A lot of challenges because since we are a 35-year-old company, so we have a lot of legacy things to be dealt with. But at the same time, we are on the right track. We have put some aggressive plans for the next 3 years where we have to move towards a tapeless file-based workflow and also supporting the transmission on the HD format because most of the big players in the region are already on the HD platform. And quite soon, we will hear some good news on DMI front also. So we have a few projects lined up for next 3 years, as I said, and all of it cannot be achieved overnight. It has to be done gradually, achieved gradually. So we have phased it out into 3-4 different phases. The first phase of which we achieved it this year. Part of it we achieved it, part of it is going to be achieved in the next 6 months' time. I mean, we all know that we inaugurated our new center a few months, 2-3 months back, which includes the complete revamp of the complete technologies we had, including the complete Avid iNews setup and the Wizardy setup. So the workflow in the news center is completely file-based now. Right from the time you ingest till the time you play it out on air, everything is file-based. So on one island, we have achieved this file-based workflow. Similarly, we also achieved some good progress during the Olympics project, which we did this year. Typically, in the original format, if you go a few years down the line, they would have done this on a tape-based format because this is what they've been doing it for years. But this year, we took a leap and we decided we will not use tape-based technologies for delivering Olympics to the end users. So all the 11 feeds, 13 feeds we were receiving from the UK from Olympics, we did not record them on VTRs. We didn't record them on tapes. It was a complete file-based. Right from the time it came into the facility until the time we put them on air for the live as well as for the repeat telecast. It was a complete file-based workflow. And we also connected our archive storage library this year, which basically archives our transmission masters. So we have made a lot of progress this year. And eventually, as I said, in the next couple of years, we're going to get there on the file-based workflows.
Okay, very good. You recently have OSN Play, which is a multi-platform delivery system. Being a pay TV operator, how do you see multi-platform? How important is that for you and from a revenue-generating point of view? How important is that?
Well, as you say, we launched the OSN Play platform in March this year. And since that, we've started on the web, then we went to iPad. We're on Android now. We're about to launch onto smart TVs. And I think the challenge for us is to keep up the momentum in that. It's not for us an additional revenue. It's a retention for our existing subscribers. Other challenges for us are to maintain the momentum in our HD launches. Sorry, we've been doing since 2010. We started HD, and our plan is by 2014 to have the whole platform HD, all of our owners.
What challenge do you have on that, on updating your encryption systems? How robust it is now? It's usually a matter of time for it to be cracked. What are your plans on encryption?
Well, we don't have plans to change our encryption. We've got our platform is now secure. We manage our own set-top boxes. We don't have, fingers crossed, we don't have a piracy issue now. I think it was January 2011, we stopped the pirates, and they haven't come back yet.
Steve, you moved recently from the broadcaster side to the supplier system integration side. As a system integrator now, what are your challenges delivering systems to your clients? Technologies are changing, workflows are changing, and probably between the design phase and delivery phase, the client would need new things. How do you manage the delivering systems, designing and delivering them to be future-proof, at least for a few years?
Yes, it's been an amazing change moving from the client side of the business to working for an SI. It's certainly a completely different perspective, particularly because you're dealing with such a wide range of different issues. Every broadcaster or every client that we speak to have their own challenges and different challenges, different business models. Some happy to put content on air on multiple platforms and not take any revenue. Others need to monetize as well as they possibly can in every possible way. So we have really a wide gamut of technologies and choices that we need to put in front of clients these days, and we need to move more. We're moving more away from the traditional integration of studios, MCRs and so forth, and now we're chasing media wherever it is. It doesn't matter what platform it is, what industry. We need to chase the media wherever it is. We need to be able to proliferate the platforms that people choose. And I think there's a trend for not just multiple platforms, but I think it's more a multi-screen arena now where we're moving to a world of a single platform, web-enabled devices everywhere, and delivering content to different size screens in the highest possible quality, with the lowest latency, and with the widest reach. So obviously, though, bringing those technologies to the table are proving to be immensely challenging. Managing that content over a wider global network as well, and getting it to homes within a reasonable amount of time. As I said, the lowest latency possible. We're starting now to talk about very much a telco space, CDNs, now telcos taking over as CDNs, because they already have the networks in place. So we're moving. I think the focus for us is definitely moving towards that multi-screen proliferation.
Hassan, you're very well known for traditional broadcast systems, camera switches, servers for the last probably 10 years, and you have IT-based solutions, software and hardware for some time. How do you, again, similar to the question to Steve, how do you manage the client's requirements, and from a development point of view of your products, what are the challenges you're facing?
Right, thank you, Hassan. Yeah, you're right. Grass Valley has been in business in the broadcast business for a very long time, actually 50 years. I think the challenge for a manufacturer like Grass Valley is to try and anticipate what would be the next requirements for all the broadcasters, and to try and empower them with all the tools and the facilities to go forward with their plans and to go forward with their vision. We've heard the broadcasters talk about all the challenges they have and all the changes that they are going through. Obviously, the move to file-based workflow is one of the big challenges. It's actually a change in culture, and we've mentioned that more than once. It's a change in the technology, but it's also a change in culture which affects the people and which affects the operators. So it's important for a manufacturer to look at all the processes that the file-based workflow is going to address, and try to anticipate how these processes are going to evolve to the new era. We're talking here about not only the network-based or the file-based processes, but very importantly, and I think Dom mentioned that. Very importantly, looking at the conventional processes. There are quite a lot of conventional processes that are still in operation in all the broadcasters, and they still need to go through with these processes, whether it is something as simple as recording or shooting with cameras or studio, or even as simple as blue products. All of these products and all of these processes need to also be involved in the migration to the file-based workflow. I take also the point from Andy about multi-screen and multi-platforms. And I think today, and this is a challenge for Grass Valley to look where we're going next. Today, most of the multi-screen content is effectively repurposed from the linear content. I think the future will show that a proper multi-platform and multi-screen content needs to be thought of from the start of the generation of the content, from the ingest onwards. So a complete integrated workflow is something that that certainly Grass Valley is working on, but this is something that will be very important for moving the broadcaster to the future.
Thank you, Hassan. David, you're also working with a manufacturer for high-end storage systems, and your role as a chief strategist is important in that role. Working with the clients,